certainly seems that you're taking very swift steps within the right direction. You mentioned about the challenges that are facing Indonesia because of its size and the diversity of it. Are there any other challenges that are facing Indonesia in these days?
Yes, of course. Because now the world become a small village. So we have to adjust ourselves with the development and dynamism in the world, of course. And the news in Indonesia can be known directly in other world. And I think this is one of the challenges. Globalization is one of the challenges. And second one, also as the implication of this economic is financial crisis. This is one of also the challenge that Indonesia. We still maintain ourselves to achieve like 4 and 5% of economic growth, and this is good compared to other countries who suffer from this financial crisis. But still, we need to work harder in order to make progress, rapid progress, economic progress in the future.
And could you tell me a little bit about the relations between Egypt and Indonesia? What are the issues that we're focusing on within the current mission, and what are the plans for the future in that?
Actually, we have a very long relations with Egypt, bilateral relation with Egypt, even before our independence. Let's see, for instance, that in 1850s, there was a community, Indonesian community, small community here in the Al-Azhar. They call it Ruak Jawi. Ruak is community, small community. Jawi means Indonesia. One of the Indonesian islands in Indonesia. And yes, afterward, we cannot forget that Egypt is the first country to recognize Indonesia and to conduct the diplomatic relations with Indonesia. But also we are always there when Egypt needs Indonesia. For instance, in the Suez nationalization, we are there to support you, and we even send our troops here for peacekeeping when Egypt made peace with Israel, for instance. So we have this good relation, emotional relations, while we have some figures like section of Arab League, Abdurrahman Pasha, who struggle for Indonesia, for Indonesian independence. So I think we have quite a good, excellent relation with Egypt historically, but it is not taken for granted. We need to do something to maintain this emotional attachment between Indonesia and Egypt. That's why we are trying very hard, and this is one of the progress, to put a good image, Indonesian image in Egypt, as well as to maintain this close relation and to promote beneficial cooperation between the two countries.
I'd now like to turn a little bit more personally. Could you tell me a little bit about your own mission here, how you've enjoyed it, or the contrary? What are the highlights of this time that you've spent here? What do you like about being here in Egypt?
Of course, I like Egypt very much. I would say this like Egyptian. I will consider that Egypt is my second country. At the meantime, I think there are a lot of potential that we should explore. Politically, we don't have any problem. And also, there was a very rapid progress in terms of economic and trade cooperation. When I came here, our trade volume is about 365 million US dollars. But last year, we can reach like 1.1 billion US dollars. It is quite progress. And of course, this 1 billion US dollars was set, the target set for the 2010, but we can reach it in 2008. And this is quite progress, but we need to do further, because our potential is much higher than our current cooperation. This is one. The second one is actually in culture and education. We have like 5,000 Indonesian students here. We want them to succeed in their study, of course, and we need to do cooperation with, especially Al-Azhar, to encourage them to expedite the progress of their study here, as well as their academic performance. And I will see that I dream to revive this emotional attachment between Egypt and Indonesia, to see like Amr Diab, singer, the famous singer of Egypt, to sing, but in Indonesia. Or he just make a video clip to be broadcasted here in Egypt. You see, it might be a good idea. And like, for instance, also, if Indonesian football team come here to have a friendly game with Al Ahly or Zamalek, or I think might be improve our emotional attachment, and just to revive what we had in the past, when our founding fathers have that emotional attachment.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of National Days. We do hope that you enjoyed this episode and look forward to seeing you next time. Goodbye.